The next step in this terribly long process of finding the distance between a point and a line is to take the slope-intercept equation that you just wrote for the perpendicular line and change it into a point slope. All right? Or I'm sorry, you start with the point slope that you just wrote and change it into slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So basically we're isolating the y. Now here, you'll notice that the y is already isolated, but it's not quite in that slope-intercept form because we've got these parentheses here. Over here next door, the y is not isolated. We've got a -2 that goes along with it. Okay, let's start with this one. First thing you need to do to get rid of the parentheses is just use your distributive property. So we've got y equals -3/2 x plus -3/2 times 3. And when you're multiplying a whole number by a fraction, just multiply that whole number by the numerator. Remember, the numerator of the fraction tells you how many pieces you have. The denominator tells you what size they are. So here, you're multiplying the number of pieces, but you don't change the size. So 3/2 tells me I have 3 pieces, 1/2 each. When I multiply that times 3, I multiply the number of pieces, so I have 9 pieces now, 3 times 3, but they're still 1/2 in size. All right, and of course that's a negative, so it ends up being -9/2. Okay. And we're done with that one. Pretty simple there. All right, next door here, we start out by doing the same thing. We've got y minus 2. We're going to leave that side alone for right now. 5/3 times x is 5/3 x. And then -3 times 5/3 gives us -15/3. And remember, the bar in between the fraction also means divided by, and 15 divided by 3 is, well, let's write this over here, 15 divided by 3 is just 5. So this ends up being 5. Now, we're going to add 2 to both sides in order to get the y by itself. So we get y equals 5/3 x minus 3. And we're done. All right, now in a moment, I'm going to ask you to try out the next few on your own, but then I'll also do those for you in a separate video so that you can check your work. But do these first, then go watch the video and see if you're doing them right. All right, good luck.